There are 11 powerful and proven methods to reignite intimacy, which we'll look at now. They are: using words, discover your love language. 2, surprises. 3, fun. 4, experiencing new activities. 5, limiting technology. 6, doing something erotic and wild. 7, doing things together. 8, having more touch. 9, sleeping closer together. 10, cultivating your own interests. And 11, showing appreciation. First, let's look at your love languages. You're probably aware of love languages, the work of Gary Chapman. He proposes that there are 5 primary languages, which are: 1, receiving gifts; 2, quality time; 3, words of affirmation; 4, acts of service; and 5, physical touch. Chapman points out that not only do we have a love language that we prefer, but our spouse may have a different love language, which means more to them. So the trick is to discover what your partner's preferred language is, to make sure that you show them more of that than any other, regardless of what your preference is. This work is so fascinating and has so many aha moments for couples. You'll find loads of downloadable questionnaire which you and your partner can complete to enable you to discover your own love languages attached to this module. Here are some practical ingredients to reignite romance. Surprises like unexpected gifts or actions can say more than anything else to show your partner you're thinking of them. Both mystery and surprise also mimic the emotional state of a new romance. But it doesn't mean necessarily whisking your partner away to the Mediterranean or surprising them with $1,000 concert tickets. Surprises should be random, unexpected, unpredictable. They pamper the child in your partner and help send the message, "I'm thinking of you." It might be something as simple as arranging a date night, and that means booking the babysitter as well as reserving a table for dinner. Or it might be doing something, anything, that you know your partner would like. Remember what it was that you used to do for your partner and your partner used to do for you when you were first courting? Remember the romance stage? So try and leave them little notes, send them loving SMSs, snatch a kiss, and make a special effort to dress up, just like you did in the romantic phase. Sometimes it requires both of you to stretch yourself to give and receive surprises. It's too easy to slip into routine. It may not be something that you were hoping to get, and it may be something you don't like, but it's time for you to dig deep and be gracious. Try not to show disappointment. Or giving the surprise might take considerable disruption or organisation. Surprises are the best antidote to boredom, which is often cited by my clients as a reason why they come into my therapy room. And surprises can increase feelings of energy, love, safety, connection, and of course, romance. Another method to reignite your relationship is fun. In the midst of busy lives, financial responsibility, kids, and holding down a household, couples can easily forget to have fun. But relationships have to be about fun. And couples can play in many ways. For example, every winter Sunday night, one couple I work with from the snowy mountains in Australia would go out in their snow-filled backyard and have a snowball fight or build a snowman. Not only did they enjoy each other's company, laugh and of course have fun, but it also led to intimate arousal for both of them. What is fun for you two may not be fun for others, but you can probably think of an activity, intimate or otherwise, that you can suggest that will amuse and give opportunities for fun. If you can make sure that you both laugh on a regular basis and have plenty of surprises, intimacy and connection will slowly be being built up. Having fun and regular play are both essential aspects of a healthy relationship. Pet names, private jokes, and keeping a sense of wonder about your partner and the relationship can alleviate stress and enhance sexual chemistry. Play can include physical sports, games, or even sometimes as something as simple as a wink or flirtation from across the room. Texting or sexting your partner throughout the day to let your partner know that you're thinking of them also maintains a connection when you're apart. Another thing you'll want to try is doing new activities together. To reignite your relationship, you want to mimic when you first started dating. One way to do that is engaging in new activities or interests with your partner. Doing novel activities together will enable you to re-experience the original emotional state you felt at the beginning of your relationship. In other words, trying something new sparks excitement. It produces passion. You can do anything from deep-sea fishing to salsa dancing to hiking a mountain to eating at different restaurants. Something else to consider is limiting technology. If you haven't put your family and your relationship on a technology diet yet, this is the year to do it. Nothing is killing communication faster right now than guys staring at their iPhones while girls are trying to talk to them at the dinner table, or vice versa. I recommend having an agreement with your partner to cut out phones and television at meal times and in the bedroom, and deciding together about specific times when you will and will not use technology. Otherwise, you just won't be giving each other your full attention, and it's easy to become annoyed or feel disconnected. I call it planning to be spontaneous. You should also make plans to do something erotic and wild to reignite your romance. Young relationships start out with an adrenaline rush. We've talked about the romantic phase. Your heart races, you get giddy, you're alert, awake and excited. And studies show that the arousal that's created through adrenaline-producing activity can get transferred to your partner and to your relationship. Arousal-generating activities can include exercising, such as going on a vigorous hike, or a roller coaster ride, parachuting out of a plane, or even watching a scary movie. It's almost like fooling your brain that the arousal produced to the scary movie or any other arousing activity is really due to your relationship, and this helps perk up the passion. A wife who was deeply in love with her husband came to me concerned about the lack of passion and excitement in her marriage. I suggested the couple work out together at home, so they bought a treadmill and some weights. It took just a week for them to be intimate in the middle of their workout. The wife later told me that she felt better about her body, was aroused and had had the best week of her life. The key is to plan to do stuff together. A mini vacation can work wonders, even if it's short. If you can get out of the house for at least 1 day or 2 days, or 1 night and 2 days, somewhere that interests both of you and creates new memories together. Go somewhere where you can spend unpressured time together so that you can truly relax. You don't have to go far from home or spend a lot of money. The key is spending quality time together away from home. Try adding a little more touch to your relationship. Touch produces arousal, comfort and support, both psychologically and physiologically. It doesn't have to be much of a touch. Holding hands on a walk, making sure you give a hug or a kiss or embrace daily, reminds you both that you're physiologically bonded. Long-term couples often don't touch enough. When we touch, especially skin to skin, we get a rush of brain chemicals that helps trigger those loving feelings. Think about how often you and your partner actually share physical contact on a daily basis. If it's just a quick peck on the lips before and after work, make an effort to step up your game. Research shows that a 20-second hug can trigger a significant oxytocin release. Most married couples hug for 3 seconds or less. So I advise you 2 or 3 times a day, stop what you're doing, hold a long, calm embrace. It can change your biochemistry and you'll develop intimacy again. If you can give each other a 30-second kiss, so much the better. Even 30 seconds with your lips locked can give you a buzz from oxytocin, which leaves you warm and fuzzy and feeling better bonded. Partners can give this feeling to each other by practicing a hug and a kiss, a mini connection, in the morning before work and before bed at night. You should also sleep closer together. That same rush of brain chemicals can also come from physical contact in bed, and not just during sex either. Sleeping skin to skin, whether it's full-on spooning or just having touching toes, can have relationship benefits. In fact, research has shown that couples who slept the closest to each other reported having the most relationship satisfaction. Of course, we don't know if the sleeping apart causes the dissatisfaction or if happier couples simply sleep closer, but why not try to get closer and just see if this helps? Get the toddler or the dog out of the bed and try snuggling for at least a few minutes. Remember to always cultivate your own interests. Being in a relationship isn't all about what happens when you're together. A lot of it has to do with what you're doing on your own. People become passive in their relationships when they become disengaged. And one of the main reasons they become disengaged because they're not satisfied with their own lives. That's why I encourage couples to make sure their lives contain something they feel passionate about, something they do individually, something their partner doesn't necessarily share. Say you love horseback riding or surfing. If you come home from a ride or a surf feeling energetic and alive, you can bring a fuller, more engaged self to your relationship as well. Take time to show appreciation of each other. You've been introduced to the appreciation exercise throughout this course, and as I mentioned in an earlier module, if you only take one thing away, let it be that. It's vital to tell your partner the things you love and appreciate about them. Hopefully they will know to mirror you back and give you the chance to say how you feel when you see that thing in them. Small appreciations and constant reminders to your partner that they are valued, and you do notice what they do on a daily basis for your relationship, family and household, not only makes your partner feel appreciated, but also generates more positive feelings about your partner. When you fall into habits in your relationship, you may take for granted the nice things your partner routinely does for you. And even if you do notice them, do you let them know that you're thankful? Gratitude is important. If you can't say an appreciation, put a note in his satchel letting him know that you appreciate that he gets the dry cleaning each week, or touches her on the arm and thanks her for bringing coffee every day. Remember the 5 love languages and use them. When reigniting a relationship, the key is to shake things up consistently. So the next time you plan a date night, think about the elements of newness, novelty, and the element of surprise. It's as simple as trying out a different restaurant or seeing a different scary movie. Appreciate your partner when you see them trying to reignite the intimacy, and take positive good feelings into the coming hours and days. I've put other hints and tips for you in the downloads for this module, along with the Love Languages quiz and the Love Languages actions. In our final module, we're going to be looking at little tricks and strategies to help you take your learnings from this course into the future. I look forward to seeing you then.